bed seat and that kind of thing. And then he went on to tell me, you know, what her goals were and her feelings and, you know, maybe some kind of closure and that kind of thing. So I was more than, you know, able to come here and support her and support the department.
I'm just going to add that it's a pleasure to be here, first of all. There's a lot of calls that will go on and it's not as happy as this. This is one of those unbelievable incidents that we wish we could have done more there to help our friends. And I'm a pleasure to be here. And still doing it and still enjoying helping people.
Lisa, Mark really should have given us all tissues today because I was sitting here listening to you. You spend your life after this accident, you know, and I'm sure it changed your perspective on a lot of things. How was it, living your life after this accident?
Complicated, very complicated. It took me many, many years to get to where I am right now today. It takes a lot of years to handle trauma and to deal with trauma, and it still continues. It will always continue. There will always be healing that can happen, and I'm just grateful that the way this unfolded in such a beautiful way, thanks to Jenny sending me that email. For me to have the opportunity to teach, to give at the conference was so important to me because I feel that I have received so much from so many, and I never even knew any of these people, but I had such gratitude and wanted to thank them, and that's why we're now here today, from the giving and the receiving, and that's what it's all about, just continually giving, receiving, giving back, receiving. It's a really beautiful experience. And
is today part of that healing process for you being able to physically?
Absolutely, yes. This is definitely a huge, huge part of healing for me. And I'm certainly grateful to be here, and I hope that I can still continue to give in any areas where I can. And I think that what was really important that was brought up, because the jobs that they have and that what they do is such a tough experience. But they do it. And the reason they do it is because they're passionate about it. And when you know what you're passionate about, when you know your calling, and you believe in it and do it, that's how we have me here today. Because that's what we need, along with all the other parts besides the human being that made it all happen. The vehicles, you know, to get me transported, everything. But to have the opportunity to show that gratitude today to human beings is really, really important. So. No, absolutely. No, I don't have any memory of it.
Here, heard before they missed slogans, different roles that they play. What's in your heart about hearing what they did at that moment?
Well, what I've noticed since this started to come together, and I'm very happy to be on the end where I can receive and hear their story and hear their experience, because that's part of the healing process for everyone. Everyone has, when this accident happened, it affected an enormous amount of people. And even though I was involved in it and I had these really traumatic injuries, I want the opportunity to be able to do exactly what we're doing today, where I can actually listen and hear their story of how they experienced what happened that day, because that's how we continue to grow. So.
Thank you, Lisa. You know, they talk about 6 degrees of separation, and you've heard some of that. Joe was one of the medics. His wife was a nurse at the hospital. J.P. Madani, who worked for us later, he was a nurse at the hospital at the time. The families connected to all of this is phenomenal. I do want to recognize some of the Graham family that's with us. You have anything you wanted to add? Okay. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all being with us today. I also want to ask one other first responder to come up. He doesn't know I'm going to do this, but the guy working the radio that day was Mark Brady. And while he doesn't remember a whole lot of it, dispatchers are a big part of what goes on. And you don't usually get to hear from Mark as a first responder. So I'd like Mark Brady to come up and tell us what was going on then.
Thank you, Chief. I spent my first 14 years of my fire service career working as a dispatcher in public safety communications. And around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's always a little slack time. It's when things have, incidents have slowed down to the point that you're waiting for the evening to come along the rush hour before it gets busy again. And when this particular call came in, I was working the main dispatch channel, not the EMS channel. But the EMS channel needed help. He was overwhelmed almost immediately with calls for assistance, calling additional units, additional staffing, and everybody at the communication center just jumped in to help. And dispatchers, the 911 center are the vital link. We are the link to the public, to our first responders, and if we don't do our jobs up there, then the job doesn't get done or doesn't get done in a timely fashion. I'd like to acknowledge also our friends from Pilati here. My 3 daughters, well, my 2 daughters and son all went through Pilati, had a great time, received a very good education, and at the National Shrine, for 3 graduations, I heard the story being told. I think it was Mrs. Weedle that was telling the story and giving out that scholarship. And that always, meant a lot because I knew about that. And this is one of those calls, and I think every person, no matter how they worked it, this is a call you never forget. It may have been the first day on the job for Rich Anderson, but it's a call and the details of that call that you never, ever forget. And that can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. But I think having the firefighters talking about it, sharing their stories with that, and now meeting a survivor, it's huge. Not only for, but for these guys as well. So, thank you very much. And is there any additional questions? If not, did I? Yes, we talked about it. They have the kitchen table chats after an incident where they relieve a lot of the stress of a call such as this. We did the same thing in communications. We had an opportunity because we were always together to talk about it. We would see the news stories that night. We would read the Washington Post or Prince George's Journal the next day about the story. And we had an opportunity, a lot of opportunity in communications to talk about it. And again, is there anything that we could have done different or better to make this go well? Yeah, we did talk. Do you have a question, sir?
Yes, sir. One of the gentlemen spoke about the changes on the unit. I wanted to ask you about the changes, because you spoke a little bit about the changes in the CDL and how it's affected the rest of the country. I'm going to guess that it's all universal now, right? The CDL test?
Yeah, commercial driver's license is a national test, and this incident was part of what helped develop it to where it is today.
What were the changes? Because it's always...
There's lots and lots of changes that came with commercial driver's license, everything from inspection requirements on vehicles to the testing requirements for drivers, drug testing, all of the different pieces that go into that phenomenal amount. But this was one of the impetus incidents that...
So they brought it all the way up.
I do want to introduce one last person, ask him to say just for a minute, this is Jeff Colombo, is the the principal from Pilate, just to say a word about the scholarship.
It's a pleasure to be here today. The Everhart Graham Scholarship, I was not at Pilate when this all occurred, obviously, but I can tell you that it has had a huge impact on Pilate High School, and it's something that we revisit every year. The scholarship is a special scholarship because it's the only award that is given that is selected by the student body. The seniors pick this award. And they're told the story, and they're told about the girls that were involved. And one of the things they're told is that these girls embodied what we want in Pilates students. The thing that keeps coming up is about how friendly they were and how supportive they were of everybody that they came into contact with. So the award is given to a student that our seniors feel does that. They work hard, but they support everybody around them, and they make everybody better. So it's a very special award. Every year at the senior banquet, members from both families come and give that award, and it's something that we really, really put a lot of emphasis on. It's a very special award. It keeps the girls in our minds and in our hearts, and it's something that we hate to talk about every year, but it's something that really is a part of what we are at Pilate. So I really appreciate you having us here today. It's been wonderful to be part of this. And thank you all for what you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I want to thank the media for covering a good story. We hear so much bad things going on. I appreciate you all being out and covering such a good story. The first responders, Lisa, others will be available for any other questions the media may have. Thank you all very much. So what they did was that was they stepped that truck after the accident. Right. And they figured how far right there the way it was. That's about Thank you. Yep.
Haven't gotten to you. But you're doing well. That's 5 years now. Congratulations. I've seen what they're doing to the building. You guys must be growing. It's good.
Oh, here's that.
Oh, the no care moving down the street. So you, where the content was, that all in the office? For the Arts Academy from the back, they knocked down that building and put it in. So that department's going to be, that's wonderful. That was a really small department when I was there. Mrs. Walker actually was the whole problem. So yeah, I love taking classes. I learn a lot about acting, singing. Well, I will do that. What's a good time to come by?
Midnight last night.
Where's your office?
Just there by the
In the front?
right hand side.
Okay, right where Steve's office was.
Right.
That's good. I'm just glad you're still there.
I'm not playing.
Good. Whatever it is, just keep on.
day.
One of the first things I covered was out of the fire station to see all this sunburn. I was out there for like 10 hours. I'll be fine. I don't need sunscreen.
Always
It's like squats. Still seeing me. They're like sunburn. Were you with me that day? Yes, when they drove by. She said sunburn. Okay. Yeah. I saw him 2 days later.
That's a great one. Well, she said she saw it. Nice to
Thank you all for coming out. Appreciate it. Absolutely. Yep. Thank you. We're going to try to do a group picture out there at the squad. I don't know if y'all want to be here for part of that. It's going to be like herding cats.
So before you guys split, I wanted to get a group shot. It's like now, where do I get? Yeah, it is.
You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of the way over.
Channel 7.
I know.
Because he came while we were there. He showed us the situation.
So thanks for coming out.
Absolutely, thank you. That's great.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. It is. I hear Marty told me that story in the hotel in Annapolis. I'm like, we got something. Small. I live on Kenilworth, but I lived here in Bowie in the 27th years. So just to sit solid. I've been the fire department before. Closure. Not only for her, but for all of us. I mean, there's calls and house fire or vehicle accident. You know, you go on to the next call, shift, and you lose track. It's good for us. So yeah, we're going to do a group shot real quick. And then, go back to work or go home, whatever checking they're doing, right? You letting them go home there, Prince? Hey, I'll negotiate. I have 2,000 firefighters. Right, Jen?